I am the king of denial. I need to acknowledge that I deny my selfishness also, but that I am also the king of judgment. Whoa!
From the Big Island of Hawaii, welcome to Aloha Speaks, home of Malama Aloha Pono by Alexander Noman, offering relief for all relationships with a focus on anger assessment and resolve.
Aloha, Alex here with Aloha Speaks once again. And I was more than chuckling this morning because it can be a comedy and it's not even funny, and yet it's hilarious. Even the thought of this topic, judgment. I have it at the top of the notes. Judgment equals projection, and it sounds so, again, cerebral, like in philosophical. In parentheses after that it says, it's stop my suffering. No, there's after my it says my and others. Stop my and others. Because my number one, I have like 8 or 9 little notes, and the number one is about selfish. Okay, there's selfish. It's a selfish thing that I want to feel good. I mean, that's why I drank. I wanted to feel good. I wanted to feel better than I was feeling. I wasn't feeling. They call it restless, irritable, and discontent. So I would drink. I didn't want to feel the way I felt. I wanted to feel better. That's what it was all about. I wanted to eat. I didn't feel the way I wanted to feel, so I was going for something else in food, or I just wasn't satisfied with not being in a relationship, so I would just go grab for that relationship, or that's that sexual zing, so I would get that, and like that would do it. Of course, it never. Not only didn't it, it's the greed. There's a difference between the greed of selfishness versus the selfishness of still. It's not the want, it's the need to feel that peace. I still have that selfishness, and that's different than that greedy kind of like, and it like looking for love in all the wrong places. So there's that selfish of fulfilling that innate need versus the greed, and then there's also the selfishness versus self-centered, which is different than selfish, where like the world revolves around me, and yet there is a center of myself. And getting those mixed up. And in that whole messiness, I was talking earlier about how there's a song, The King of Nothing, but I am the king of denial. I need to acknowledge that I deny my selfishness also, but that I am also the king of judgment. Whoa! Clickety-split, boom, 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 boom. And I don't know. I don't have a clue what if anybody else can relate. All I know is that there is the assessment process. That when I am not in touch with that piece, I look at what got the ball rolling. What started this whole thing that looked like I got sucked in to something that, I'm blaming something else. It was judgment. The thing that started the ball rolling was I made a judgment. And in that, there is a projection going on. There's an assumption being made that judgment is about whatever it is I'm judging and doesn't have anything to do with me. But when I make the assessment, I come to find out that it is, I'm not getting into the assessment, I'm just saying that I find out invariably that judgment is exactly about me. It's a mirror image. I'm actually judging my own self. No matter what, it comes out that way. That song by Michael Jackson. And people even judge Michael Jackson. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. It has nothing to do with the judgment. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him, that's me. If I'm a woman, I could be a woman, I'm asking her. But I'm a man. I'm asking him to change his ways. Not trying to get the other person, but that's how it starts out. I want them to change his ways. No message could have been any clearer in making these assessments. If I want to make the world a better place, the world, always pointing the finger, a better place. Better look at myself. I better look at myself and make that change. That's where the change needs to happen, is in me. Not because of a philosophical thing, not because of a calculative, cerebral equation, because of how I feel. Because I'm a mess when I am judging, because it turns me into a mess. And I am suffering. And so are the people around me, which I used to just be oblivious to. Taking them down as well. Over judgment. So, once I find this out, and here's where this is headed, what do I do with this? Because then I can say, okay, and this is where the Pono comes in to the Malama, is there's action that needs to be taken, because when I realize that I've gone too far and I've taken others with me, there needs to be some fences mended, some action. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Lip service, no. That's no value to that whatsoever. Something a little, quite a bit more creative than that has value. So that I can get back to the innate freedom that exists within. It's a beautiful thing. These details of the assessment and of the Pono, of the Malama in Malama Aloha Pono, another time. That judgment, to know, mirror, it's a mirror, already brings that freedom. Aloha. And to close, clicking on the thumbs up icon supports Aloha Speaks, as well as clicking on the free subscribe tab. Mahalo.